Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, we all know the San Francisco 49ers are one of the most exciting teams in the NFL, especially over the past few seasons. Their journey has been nothing short of remarkable. From their dominant defense to their innovative offense led by Brock Purdy, they've firmly established themselves as contenders year after year. But as you always know, in the NFL, nothing stays static for long. Teams are constantly adjusting, upgrading, and looking for that extra edge to push them over the top. And with the upcoming start of training camp next month, the Niners are already in full swing, evaluating their roster, making moves, and trying to fill those last few gaps that could make or break their season. One of the key areas that the team has been focusing on is their secondary, specifically the safety position. Now, the 49ers have some promising young talent in Ji'Ayir Brown and Malik Mustafa, both of whom showed flashes of brilliance last season. Brown, in particular, had a solid rookie campaign, and Mustafa, coming in as a fourth-round pick, made quite an impression with his physicality and playmaking ability. But as always, injuries and depth are critical issues in the NFL, and the Niners are no strangers to that. Recently, there's been buzz about whether the team might look outside their current roster to bring in a veteran safety who could provide both leadership and stability. And folks, this is where it gets interesting. There's a name that's been floating around as a potential target. Justin Simmons, the four-time All-Pro safety, formerly of the Denver Broncos and more recently with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Simmons is one of the most recognizable names in the league when it comes to safeties, known for his ball skills, coverage ability, and leadership on the field. But whether or not he ends up in San Francisco is a whole different story. Let's talk about his recent performance. In 2024, Simmons played 16 games with the Falcons, recording 62 total tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 2 interceptions. Not a bad stat line, right? But it's important to note that his season wasn't exactly stellar compared to his previous years with Denver. And that raises some questions about whether he's still at the top of his game. He's now 32, turning 32 in November, which in NFL safety terms isn't necessarily old, but it does mean teams start to scrutinize durability and consistency a little more. Now, don't get me wrong. Simmons has been one of the league's most reliable safeties for years, with a reputation built on his instincts, his ability to read the game, and his knack for making plays when it counts. But last season, according to some advanced analytics, he allowed 22 receptions on 37 targets, with an opposing passer rating of 105. That's notably worse than what he used to allow in Denver, which is understandable, considering the wear and tear and perhaps a slight decline. And the tackling? Well, that's a concern as well. Simmons missed 17 tackles on 79 attempts, which is an eye-popping 21.5% missed tackle rate. Something that NFL teams, especially a team with Super Bowl ambitions like the 49ers, can't overlook. But here's the thing. The Niners are a team that's always looking for that veteran presence, that playmaker who can bring experience and leadership to their young secondary. They've been known for their strong, disciplined defense, and a player like Simmons, if he's still got some gas in the tank, could be a real asset. Of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The Falcons signed him last year for a one-year deal worth around $8 million, and given his age and recent performance, it might be a significant investment for the Niners to bring him in. Especially considering they already have 2 promising safeties, Brown and Mustafa, who they see as the future of their secondary. Now, why would the 49ers even consider bringing in a player like Simmons? Well, it's about depth, experience, and that extra layer of security. Because let's face it, injuries are part of the game, and with Mustafa coming off a torn ACL, the team might need to add someone with proven NFL pedigree to fill that void temporarily or even long-term. Remember, Mustafa was a revelation as a rookie, playing with ferocity and making a difference in the deep secondary. But ACL injuries are serious, and recovering from one takes time. Even if he's progressing well, there's no guarantee he'll be ready for the start of the season. That's why the Niners could be eyeing a short-term solution, someone who can step in and produce immediately. And considering the 49ers' recent roster moves, shedding salary, letting Talanoa Hufanga sign elsewhere, they're clearly trying to manage their cap space while staying competitive. But they're also aware that a team's success depends on its ability to adapt, to add those pieces that can elevate the overall unit. Simmons, with his experience and playmaking ability, could be that piece, if he's willing to accept a one-year deal or a short-term contract, which makes sense given his recent performance and age. Of course, bringing in a veteran like Simmons isn't without its risks. The team would need to weigh his past accomplishments against his recent struggles. But let's be honest, the 49ers are a team that's always aiming high, always chasing that elusive Lombardi trophy. They've built a roster that combines youth and experience, speed and physicality. Their defense, especially under coordinator D'Amico Ryans, who's now coaching the Houston Texans, has been one of the best in the league, and they're always looking to add those final pieces to make sure they remain at the top. And speaking of their defense, it's worth mentioning how much the 49ers value their safety position. Over the years, they've been known for their versatile safety core, capable of playing both in the box and deep coverage, thanks to players like Jaquiski Tartt, Jimmy Ward, and more recently Talanoa Hufanga. Hufanga, in particular, has been a fan favorite, known for his relentless style of play and knack for making game-changing plays. But as I said earlier, injuries have impacted the team's depth, and that's why the potential addition of someone like Simmons makes sense. It's about insurance, but also about raising the level of competition and experience in that secondary room. Now, let's not forget about the bigger picture. The NFC West has become a highly competitive division. The Seattle Seahawks have been building something special with Geno Smith leading an explosive offense. The Los Angeles Rams are always dangerous with their star-studded roster, and the Arizona Cardinals are in a bit of a rebuild but still possess talent that can surprise. So for the 49ers, maintaining their edge means being proactive, especially on defense. They're looking to replicate or even surpass the success of their 2019 Super Bowl run, and every detail counts. The 49ers front office, led by General Manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan, has shown they're not afraid to make bold moves. They've been aggressive in free agency, in the draft, and in managing their roster to fit their championship aspirations. Bringing in a veteran safety like Justin Simmons could be one of those strategic moves, an attempt to bolster their defense without overextending financially or disrupting their young core. It's all about balancing the present with the future and making smart decisions that align with their long-term goals. As we look ahead to training camp, it's clear that the 49ers will be keeping a close eye on their safety room, evaluating every player, every possible addition. The competition for starting spots will be fierce, and Simmons, if he's available and willing, could very well be part of that mix. But it's not just about filling a position, it's about bringing in someone who understands what it takes to succeed at the highest level, someone who can step into that leadership role and help guide the younger players. And of course, the fans are eager to see how all of this unfolds. The excitement around the 49ers is palpable, especially after their recent deep playoff runs and their high-powered offense. The defense has been a cornerstone of their success, and fans always want to see that unit as airtight as possible. The addition of a seasoned safety could give them that extra edge, that confidence in the back end that can make the difference in close games, playoff battles, and ultimately, that quest for another Super Bowl title. So, in summary, folks, we're looking at a potential game-changer in the safety position for the 49ers. Whether or not Justin Simmons ends up in San Francisco remains to be seen, but the discussion is real, and it's one that every 49ers fan should keep an eye on. It's all about strengthening that defense, ensuring depth, and making sure they're prepared for everything the NFL throws at them this season. The team has the talent, the coaching staff, and the desire to contend, but sometimes, it's that one smart addition that makes all the difference. And knowing how aggressive the 49ers have been in recent years, I wouldn't be surprised if they're exploring every avenue to make that happen. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you, pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe bringing in a player like Justin Simmons would elevate the team to that next level? Or do you think the team should focus on developing their young safeties and look elsewhere in free agency? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team itself. Remember, this is a community, and your voice counts. I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and insights, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. Thanks for being with us, and as always, go Niners!